Hello there again. So here's another lecture video under Lit to Global Currents in World Literature that shares the same objective with my previous video before this, The Brewery of Eggshells, an Ireland folktale, and that is explore how the wisdom of the young and the oldest member of a particular society is often celebrated in folklore. Okay, so let's start. The title is Father of 18 Elves and Iceland Folklore. So the Father of 18 Elves is a Scandinavian changeling folktale from Iceland. So changeling, if you want to know the definition of that one, you go back to my lecture video under The Brewery of Eggshells, and that is an Ireland folklore. Okay, so in order for us to understand this, let's read the summary. Okay, so the story began on a farm. Everyone in the household was outside working except for the farmer's wife and her young son. The boy was precocious, and they were quite proud of all his accomplishments. The mother had household chores to do, so she left the boy in the doorway and went to the brook. When she returned, the boy would no longer speak to her, but instead began to cry hysterically. Even his mother was unable to soothe him. Because she didn't know what to do, she went to see the wise old woman and asked for her advice. The wise woman asked her many questions until finally she queried, "Do you think this child might now be a changeling? It seems to have been left on your doorway and your own son taken away." Sadly, the mother didn't know. But because she wanted an answer, the wise old woman told her just what to do. Place before the child something he has never seen, and then hide away so he thinks he is alone. If he then begins to speak, you will know for certain that he is a changeling. Now beat him without mercy. And that is exactly what the mother did. She fashioned a new porridge spoon out of some reeds that reached up the chimney. She then placed the spoon in the cauldron with the fire burning. Once everything was ready, she left the room but continued to peek through the doorway. The boy began to pace throughout the room and finally said, "I may be old enough to father 18 elves, but I've never seen such a long spoon in such a small pot." Quickly, the mother came into the room and began flogging or beating the child. Suddenly, a strange woman came through the front door carrying the missing boy. "Do you see how different we are?" she said. "I treated your son with love, and you beat and abused my husband." She returned the boy to his true mother and took the changeling by the hand. Together, they disappeared through the front door. Changeling really is the key concept for this literary piece. Okay, so let's have further elaboration of what happened in the story. So, in this story, the old woman shares her experience and wisdom with the young mother. It's an expected rule from an elder in this kind of literary piece because we're talking about folklore. An interesting element to this story is the changeling, a being that can change shapes and moves from a child to an old elf and back again. Actually, in other countries, from their folklore, they consider changeling as a fairy too. Most often, it was thought that fairies and elves exchanged their children for human ones. In rare cases, the very elderly of the fairy people would be exchanged in the place of a human baby, so that the old fairy could live in comfort, being cuddled by human parents. So, this is how children are being told about these kinds of stories. The old woman is the only one who can identify the changeling as a being that is both duplicitous and troublesome. Although the young mother thinks something is wrong, she is unable to identify the cause. That is an ability requiring both education and experience. These are qualities that the wise old woman has in spades. So, when you apply the principles under folklore. Okay, so that one, okay, and we already hit our target. We were able to somewhat identify or explore how the wisdom of the young and the oldest member of a particular society is often celebrated in folklore. So, the thoughts which are being passed by the old men and women to the young children are really interesting, colorful, okay, because of the things which are really far from reality, but people could believe. Okay, so that's it for this literary piece. For my reference for this literary piece, I have this. Okay, so kindly check out other videos of mine because I had talked about a lot of lecture videos for different kinds of literary pieces. And also I have my language lecture videos. So thank you for watching. Goodbye and have a nice day.